Hello people, Dan is back. Welcome to Essex, United Kingdom. So yeah, I had a period of sickness for around 2 weeks, so I didn't do any work in that time. Got a little bit behind, but managing to catch back up now. Didn't do any gardening for that 2 weeks here, and haven't really done much gardening at all here, but the right time of year is coming up for me to catch up. Weather's starting to feel, dare I say, autumnal at times. It's about 16 degrees C today, which is about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, but still good temperatures for the time of year. Could be far worse. And I had a few people ask me, to do an update and what's going on and all that, so I thought, yeah, Sunday, good day for an update. So yeah, plenty to do and plenty to think about. And I spoke before, in the winter time when it's dormant, this cherry tree's coming out of here and it's going outside in the garden. I've got to prune the peach tree at the back, and I've got to tie up this grapevine. I'll give you some close-ups of this because this is going to be amazing next year. It's going to be absolutely loaded with fruit, it really is. Going to get the mango tree out of here. In fact, let me get the camera and let's have a closer look at things. So yeah, the cherry tree has done exceptionally well in here. I mean, with regards to growth, it really has put out some extra growth here. Look, you can just see. It was in the ground in its previous location for about, I think, 4 years, 3 or 4 years. This came from Pomona Fruits, I think, which I do recommend for quality plants. I think they're based in Frinton in Essex, and me like to support Essex companies or whatever region that you live in. It's nice to support companies from that area, I think. And yeah, very good, but it didn't really do much where it was before. It was in poor soil, and because it's on a dwarf rootstock, didn't put its roots down very much to establish very well there. So for 4 years where it was, didn't grow much. But in here, with the catalyst of the heat, it's too big for in here. And if I didn't have the peach tree in here, I might consider keeping it in here. But because the main priority for this polytunnel is the peach tree at the back, and my regular viewers know how fond I am of my peach tree variety, Dixie Red. So yeah, but yeah, so it really has done well in here, the Stella cherry, and it's thickened up considerably the trunk here, and you can just see, I mean, all this growth, I mean, all the way along there. Peach tree, spoke a lot about that. No peach leaf curl again, which I'm absolutely plantastically happy about, really happy. And the mango tree, you can see the leaves. The mango tree, there, look, the leaves, it's just got huge. But what's going to happen with this is it's going to be taken out of here probably next month, because when temperatures drop, I just don't want to risk losing it. I mean, if the temperature goes below 8 degrees C, sorry, I don't know how many degrees Fahrenheit that is, but it will get very, very uncomfortable indeed. So it's not going to be staying in here for much longer. I've got a place to put that in a friend's sort of like conservatory style thing. That's where it's going to go for the winter, and then next spring, late spring, next summer, it's going to go back in here. So yeah, looking pretty good, I think. There's a lot of growth, and when I dig it out, I'll show you a little bit more of just how much it's grown. It's benefited very much from the the warmth within this polytunnel. And down here, baby, this is going to come out, and it's going to go in the same place as the, try and turn the light up here on the camera. This is going to go in the same place as the mango tree, and that is the blood orange tree. So yeah, plenty of plans for this polytunnel. So over here you can see the geraniums, variety Moulin Rouge, and this is the best one. Look at that. And the plan is, or the plan was, or is as was, whatever. I started them off at this time of year, well, about a month or so ago, something like that. I've got a video on it, have a look at it if you want to see when I put these in. But I wanted to get them to have a good start, and what I'm going to do again when the temperature drops a lot more is they're going to go inside on the windowsill, which they are going to overwinter, so to speak. And I'm hoping that next year they'll be established, and then they can be ready to flower very early next year, and they'll be decent sized plants. That's the plan. But they're germinating, and there's probably about 50% germination rate at the moment, and they're germinating at different rates, so quite happy with how they're coming on, and expecting some very nice plants. And variety Moulin Rouge, they have lovely red flowers, like a deep red, so yeah, expecting these to be excellent next year. And what else have we got? Let's have a look-see. Now, over here you go. So this is something that I'm very excited about, and how it's going to pan out. Now, this is grape variety Autumn Royal, and I got this from Ken Muir, which is once again an Essex company. And you can just see how much growth that this plant has put on this year. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Look at that. It's all growth from this year. So if I take the camera and I point it down here, you can just see. I had a viewer ask me about my grapes, so I'm going to talk a lot about them. It's nice when a bloke talks about his grapes, isn't it? Right, so anyway, you can see where the rootstock is, and you just see the amount of growth, man, that's put on. And all the way up here, huge. And I reckon there's going to be a massive crop here. And people often ask about how they can get fruit quicker. We all like things yesterday in this world, as they say. So this is one thing you can do. If you grow something like grapes in a polytunnel, the heat will act, or generally should act, as a catalyst, and it will enable the plant to grow quicker. Of course, this variety here, Autumn Royal, it's a variety from California, and unsurprisingly, we don't have Californian weather here. Although this summer was very long and warm by UK standards, still not as long growing season as they have in California generally. So the heat in the polytunnel helps with that, and it's recommended why you grow this variety in a polytunnel or a greenhouse. But you can see just how much growth has occurred here. And what I'm going to do is take this out in the winter. When this defoliates, it'll be much easier, and I'm going to train it over the polytunnel. So in this polytunnel should be this grapevine here and the peach tree there. This cherry tree won't be here, and in the winter time the blood orange here and the mango there, they'll be elsewhere. So very happy there. Some good plans, and you can see the papayas are looking quite nifty. And there's one there looking quite nifty as well. And here, look. This is Tithonia, Mexican sunflower. So I'm very happy about how that's going. I need to deadhead it. The more you deadhead these, the more flowers unsurprisingly come. But look at the beauty of these. And when these are grown outside, the bees love them. So Tithonia, Mexican sunflower. And I'm hoping by, because this is frost tender, I'm hoping by leaving this in this polytunnel, it's pretty established root now, look at the size of it. I'm hoping by leaving it in here, I'm going to get an extra long growing season, and it's going to grow bigger. So yeah, look at that, man. Beauty. Okay, so looking at this, now once again on the subject of grapes, going through the fence, and then mine's a bit broke off, but not the end of the world, is it? Anyway, yeah, so this was a cutting that I took earlier this year, and once again you can see, look, that was the cutting. Just going to get this right for you. This is the cutting from here, there you go, here to here, the weed there, adios, and that from there, my finger is, to here is the growth. So very happy. This is Allotment seedless. Spoke a lot about that particular variety, so won't go into details today. And this is another cutting that I took here. You can just see the sheer size of that, look. This is either a red currant or a white currant. See the size of that? It's done very well. Took the cut in, did a video on that. New growth from here to here. And another grapevine here. Yeah, hasn't put on as rapid growth as the other one, but I think it dried out and then had to restart again. So it's done quite well actually, isn't it? I'm happy with it. This is variety Muscat Blanc, this one, which is a black seeded grape. Very nice taste and recommended for growing outside here in the UK. And another currant here. So very happy with how things regarding the propagation, the fact that I managed to keep these going despite being very busy at work during that drought period, to make sure everything was kept watered. So yeah, it's all cool, man. Okay, so this is something that's most irregular, but I dare say a lot of you other people out there are experiencing this. But I planted the runner beans, you know, the normal time, out in May, whatever, and they've only really started to produce now. And the reason for that, I can imagine, is because it was simply too hot and dry for them. So the plants didn't do anything. Well, I've had all this rain. I'm getting delicious runner beans and beautiful flowers well into September. So I'm hoping I might have some of these for dinner actually. Although I do like eating them raw. I'm hoping the weather to continue and going to have some really good runner beans, even though they're late in the season, but I'm grateful for them now. Anyone else getting runner beans now? The kale's doing really well. Even during that dry spell, was eating a lot of it. Here as well, more kale under the, look at that, I mean look at the size of it. The size of these plants, that healthy green, lush growth, and very happy with how these have turned out. Now, what's going to happen with that cherry tree is that cherry tree I showed you in the polytunnel is going to go here after this kale is finished. I'll probably put it in, I'll dig that up during deep dormancy probably, so probably around January, February time, and put it in here somewhere. That's what I want to do anyway. Although, you know me, things might change. Big old run of beans, isn't they? The kale's doing really well. Even during that dry spell, was eating a lot of it. Here as well, more kale under the, look at that, I mean look at the size of it. The size of these plants, that healthy green, lush growth, and very happy with how these have turned out. Now, what's going to happen with that cherry tree is that cherry tree I showed you in the polytunnel is going to go here after this kale is finished. I'll probably put it in, I'll dig that up during deep dormancy probably, so probably around January, February time, and put it in here somewhere. That's what I want to do anyway. Although, you know me, things might change. Big old run of beans, isn't they? Okay, so pear variety Concord. Whoops. Probably got around 20 pears on here, and as I've stated many times before, I call this the tree that never grows, because it was in the previous location for about 4 years and it just never really grew. And where it is, I don't want it to grow much because it's nice as it is, and it had to put on a bit of growth here. And I remember one year this tree had dieback, so it's been through it probably did help stunt its growth. It has been through a fair bit, but it rewards, and it gives this lovely crop, so I will not be complaining about this lovely tree and its nice healthy leaves as well. Okay, yeah, so another grapevine. This is I think this is Lakemont seedless, and this was taken not earlier this year but early last year, and it even got smashed, part of it, and I've had to fix it with flower arranging stroke grafting tape here, but it's survived and it's still managed to put out some lovely growth. Like, look at that. So the plan is, over the winter period, I think I've got to, yeah, I think this post has rotted off. I think I've got to replace this post, but never mind. So anyway, the plan will be to train this up, and it should, all being well, this should carry a crop next year. That's the plan anyway. And you know, and loads of you are into budget gardening. This was a free acquisition. All you need to do is find someone who's willing to give you some grapevine cuttings, family, friend, whoever, and you can propagate your own grapevines for free, and they take readily as cuttings. So there we go. Right, this here is Jubilee Plum, and very happy with how it's put out a lot of growth this year. I think it had 1 or 2 plums on it, which I'm not worried about at all, because it's only been in the ground a year and a bit, year and a half, but it's put out a lot of growth, and as I stated many times before, I feel this is going to be an incredibly good tree, a very strong tree, so that's what I'm hoping. It's certainly established well, and the trunk feels nice and solid, and it's, you can see it's really, you know, splayed or sprayed out the growth, however you want to say it.